The Dauntless. The sound of the bugle going off causes everyone to sit up and start moving. Dressed, boots on, bunks smoothed out, and they line up for inspection. No sooner does the last recruit flutter into place that the heels of boots grind into the floor. Shit, they have Major Payne this morning. The Major has a talent for giving everyone the crazy eye all at the same time, and "What are you looking at, boy?" Major Payne demands suddenly in his face. "A superior officer, sir," he answers. "Why are you not looking straight ahead?" Major Payne demands. "Sir, you're right in front of me, sir. I am looking ahead," Recruit Davies answers back, and he gets a really close look at Major Payne's bugged-out eyes and can outright see the veins in the eyeballs before the man moves on to inspecting the rest of the line. He doesn't let himself relax, and that's a very good thing, as suddenly Major Payne is back in his face. "What you looking at?" Major Payne almost whispers to him. "A superior officer, sir." He answers in as even a tone as he can. "Good," Major Payne says, and then marches down the line proper. There are a few more recruits that nearly get smoked, but this morning everyone is up to snuff. So they fall out and are guided into the first exercise of the day. The early morning run. They have to lap the entire Dauntless 3 times on foot, or tail, or whatever you use to get around. But still, 3 times around a capital class ship. A smaller one, yes, but still a capital class ship. They're measured in kilometers, which means that by the time they stagger into the showers, they're utterly ravenous and already exhausted despite the night's sleep they just had. The water pours off them, and the grime they picked up from the run is scrubbed off methodically as everyone cleans, dries, and then dresses themselves. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Recruit Cobalt chirps up, and there's a distinct urge to sting the bastard. Stupid Marega and their long-distance builds. Of course he would have an easy time. He's a fucking quadruped. He's got twice the number of limbs to drag his carcass around, with axiom to twist the air around him and rip the moisture off his body. Recruit Davies is dry in seconds and quickly slips his uniform on. Chow time. Bacon, eggs, and a bagel with peanut butter on it. Enough protein for a man twice his size, and the roughage from the grains in the bagel. The simulated orange juice is tangy, tasty, and washes it all down clean. There's no real time to mess around. It's right back to classes. The first 2 of 6 were already finished, but the other 4 would be finished today. Everything was already known. It was just a matter of making it stick, and make it stick they did. Vehicles for on and underwater. APCs, fuel trucks, motorbikes, and air bikes. The last 2 sections weren't actual vehicles, but cut-out simulations of workstations on a ship proper. He pays special attention to the communication consoles, as it's very much where he's intending to go. Languages are easy and quickly pulled apart, so it's just a smart direction to head into. Thankfully, his head is also the same general shape of a human's, and he can easily put on the headphones to hear the recreations of half-caught signals. He makes out several words and puts the language down as Swahili. "How did you know that?" the instructor asks him before they move on to the final section. "Pardon? How did you know the language was Swahili?" "It has the markers of it. Speaking each language has a sort of tone. They can blend together if you don't have the ear for it. But this is an Earthborn ship, so it's going to use Earthborn languages. That thins out the suspect list. After that, it was easy enough." Recruit Davies states, and the instructor nods. "Good man and well-reasoned. Out of curiosity, how much Swahili do you know?" "Just a few phrases and key words. Hello, goodbye, peace, stop, fight, attack, run, bathroom, and food mostly. It's enough to get someone who isn't sure to not attack or to tell them to back off. Also enough to get by if you're surrounded by Swahili exclusive speakers for a bit. And how many languages do you have that level of understanding for?" "About 100? I can swear in 300, and I can speak a dozen fluently." "Really? Give me a 10-language cuss now then, boy. You batatas, chaliro, gurax, vilf, numuxian, haas, Soroso, Quoto, Zazin Falathas, fucker. I tossed in an 11th language and opened and ended in English. And what did you call me? I called you an inbred dirt-sucking worm-felleting shit-eating stupid fatherfucker. And the languages? English, Charles Speech, Metak Trade, Canada Battle Cant, Cobe Standard, Lope and Howl, Greater Jorguan Trade, Nagasha Standard, Gobe Basic, Charbas Hive Speech, and Cinder Tongue, followed by English. Recruit Davies explains and receives some slight applause from the instructor. Very nice. Move on, recruit, the instructor tells him. The day nearly blurs together as after the teaching goes into lunchtime and they shovel in the next meal. Deep-fried chicken, a thin broth to wash it down with, and a cool drink to chase it. Then they're in drill formation again. Moving together, acting together, and then all 8 squads are sent to a training field they're unfamiliar with. All right then, pukes. You've had a great deal of time to grind in all sorts of little nitty-gritty bits to try and get something resembling competence shoved into your heads. Now we're going to see if it means anything. Major Payne belts out and the entire training area lights up. This is the latest in undaunted holographic technology. You poor sons of bitches are the lucky few that get to test it. I want all of your oversized asses through that obstacle course in 5 minutes. Then we're going into simulated combat. You have a bunker to defend, and if it is taken in the next hour, you will fail. But we just finished drill? One of the recruits protests, and rather than lighting up the idiot Major Payne just laughs. That's right, kiddies. You're tired. You're worn out. You've had a long day and you already just want to go to bed. Well, too bad. When the mission says go, you go. Now get your plus-size behinds over those obstacles and into the bunker, you pukes. Hold the damn line. No one knows who moves first, but Recruit Davies is one of them. The first ones out are just that, though, and an entire flood of soldiers follows them out. The course first consists of a wall with little grips that he has to wedge the tips of his pincers in so that he can climb it and then jump down the other side. Then race across a badly secured bridge, grab a bent bar and use it to slide down another bar, and then have that as a climbing aid for the next wall. Then comes an obstacle the drill instructors have called monkey bars in the past, followed by a series of crawling under barbed wire with a path for each race category. The paths are tiny and hard to move in, and he's forced to pull himself forward with his pincers. Somewhere during the scramble, the slope recruit has gotten ahead of him, and she outright helps him up the next one. He pays it back by planting himself on the top of the obstacle and anchoring himself so he can help up as many as possible. No sitting still, Recruit Davies, Major Payne calls to him after the 5th or 6th fellow recruit, and he jumps down before racing through the tire section. In the bunker. Go, go, go. The bunker is just a hole in the ground with a concrete roof and a couple tiny windows to look out of. It fills up fast as it's nowhere big enough for all 8 squads to be comfortable. All right then, pukes, Major Payne barks out as the obstacle course outright vanishes to be replaced by a dirt field covered in razor wire and wrecked vehicles. You're down to your last bunker, and every casualty is your own damn fault. Keep a lookout now. We're not playing nice. By the way, you're having dinner in there. What? A dinner of pain. Major Payne laughs out loud as his position suddenly explodes and everyone gets as low as possible. It's just a hologram, but it's still a bone-shaking impact. Rations are in the basement, pukes. Remember to check the ingredients unless you really want to live up to your nickname. Major Payne calls out before a whistling sound can be heard and the world detonates again. Bullets slam into the ground and the sound of planes roll overhead. Spread out, you idiots. You're all concentrated in a nice, pretty little kill box. Get yourselves some distance from each other. You don't want to all lose because one idiot cuts the wrong kind of fart, do you? Major Payne's voice bellows out. Come on, he's right. We crowd up too much and we're dead. A recruit says at one side and the crowd gets suddenly lessened. Davies pushes out to the side the other way. Come on, I want room to stretch out at least if I get shot. Heads down and guards up. We're not doing this stupid." They stretch out along the trench the bunker is sunk into, and soon enough an order is established. No one votes him in, but everyone's listening as Davies keeps everyone down and listening to avoid enemy fire. More than rations are found in the basement of the bunker now that there's room to actually open the hatch. Helmets are passed down the line and rifles follow suit. Every minute, with a bit of extra random lateness or earliness to keep them on their toes, another shell drops and part of the battlefield suddenly becomes a fountain of dirt and shredded metal rising into the sky that scatters everywhere. Fuck me, they're really trying to scare the hell out of us. It's a test. They want to see if we'll break. Final exam time, boys and girls. Hold tight. Davies replies with a confidence he doesn't really feel. A chunk of metal bounces off his helmet. It's fake. It's all fake, but it's close enough that all his instincts are screaming. The danger feels real, which makes it real enough. Remember, they said to hold the bunker, which means we have to be in a situation where reinforcements are en route. He lies to keep everyone's spirit up as 2 shells land in quick succession and damn near deafen them. Now who the hell said that puke? No one told you that reinforcements are on the way. No one told you that there's even fresh supplies coming, Major Payne calls out. The next shell detonating rattles something and he does the one thing he shouldn't. He snaps back. Fuck you. Get your morale poison the fuck out of here or I'll make you eat the pincer. He threatens and the next series of shells slams into the ground in perfect timing with Major Payne's laughter. Then comes the smell. Oh God, the smell. Everyone looks around to try and find the scent, and they do. They horribly do. It's the upper torso of an alpha man choking and gasping as the last of his life comes out. Recruit Howell reaches for the dying man and his hand goes through. A hologram. A hologram hiding a viscera-scented stink bomb. That's just wrong. There's a deep rumbling as things go from weird but clearly fake to worse. A fully functional tank is rushing their lines. Someone screams something and rushes the tank. Then there's an explosion and out of nowhere the simulation just ends. The hard light holograms slowly fade with enough time for the men to safely get down off things that no longer are even slightly realistic, and Major Payne is standing where the tank was with a big smile. Well. You all looked right into the heart of a world war with the blood and mud and doom and gloom. I like it. I like what I'm seeing. You, Recruit Hart, he barks to the man that ran out with a scream. Sir? Recruit Hart asks from his place on the floor. The Carib man is still panting in excitement. You charged a tank with a pack of explosive ordnance in order to take it down. That takes moxie. I like moxie. I'll be paying special attention to you, he says before turning back to the rest. Recruits Gellin, Valiance, and Davies, front and center. They rush up still jittery and twitchy from the exercise. When the going got tough, you 3 broke up the madness and made things work. Good. Consider yourself squad sergeants from here on out. You'll have the rank badges and new responsibilities listed on your beds. You think you can lead these recruits? Then lead them.